Hi, my name is Paige and this is Daniel. We are on a mission to get out of debt and become millionaires. So today I want to talk to you about credit cards. People seem to get very passionate about credit cards, especially when I say that I've cut up all my credit cards. We even put them in this nice little jar that says never again, because we are not going to fall prey to the credit card companies again. So with that said, I think you know our stance from the get-go. Credit cards are not there to help you.
No, it's a debt trap cycle. It really is.
And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We have several points that we are going to address. Why credit cards are bad. People say they use their credit cards for points or travel miles.
Or cash back.
Woohoo! So we're going to address that. People who spend money on their credit cards and pay them off every month. So we're going to talk about that a little. And then we're going to address some alternatives to using credit cards. There are several situations and no situation is alike. So if you have any particular questions about your individual situation, please feel free to directly message me or make a comment below, and I will be happy to throw my 2 cents in.
And while you're down there, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. They're right there.
They're right there. Yeah. So why are credit cards bad? Credit cards are bad because you spend more. So we have an emotional attachment to cash.
We do. There's that physical transaction of money changing hands.
It's more difficult to give up that cash than it is to just swipe the card.
Yeah.
The using cash is a little bit more painful, and when you let go of a couple of Benjamins, you definitely feel that a lot more than you would swiping your card. So that brings us to another reason why credit cards are bad. They're a great way to build debt, which just puts you further in the hole and farther away from your dreams.
It's insidious, and that's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire point behind them.
So we had a Chase credit card that we used for years. It is now
Cut up.
in pieces in our little jar.
Yeah.
Was
It initially was an $800 limit, and as we got more friendly with debt and giving the bank more and more of our money, they decided that they wanted to make more money off of us, and they decided to raise the credit limit. And we were always told that a big percentage of your credit score is your available credit. So, we were only using $500-600 a month. Go ahead and raise that credit limit. It'll change that used credit ratio.
What did they raise it to, darling?
They initially raised it to like about $2,500, and then we got amazingly, we started approaching that $2,500 limit, and then they raised it to $8,800. And then guess what happened? We got up to about $8,000, and yeah, we finally decided that there was a behavior problem.
Yeah, and that's what you have to determine. And this whole video is about, is this a behavior problem or is it a math problem? For us, it was clearly a behavior problem.
Yeah.
No matter what the max was, we were on a strange mission to reach the max. We set the bar real high.
Oh,
Yeah, so we ended up with $8,000 or more in this credit card, and we were paying like $1,000 a month, every month. But the problem is that the next month we just spent another $1,000 and put it all back on there. So it was a significant behavior problem, and we had to nip it in the bud, and this is what we had to do. If this is what you have to do, then do it. And we have it on our counter to remind us every day, this is not where we want to be. So a lot of people will say, well, you need a credit card for emergencies. And that's a line that those creditors, when you talk to them on the phone, they're going to say, well, you're going to need a line of credit for an emergency.
You need our credit card for an emergency.
That's a lie.
It's a lie.
You don't need a credit card for emergencies. What you need is an emergency fund. Emergency funds are significantly important because it puts you in control of your future and makes you more prepared to handle problems that come up down the road. So emergencies will happen, and you just have to be ready for them. And that's what emergency fund is for, not a credit card.
Not a credit card.
No, because a credit card is just going to put you further in debt and make a bigger problem in the end. Another thing that people use credit cards for is fake rich. You wanted to talk about this?
Yes, I did. There's the keeping up with the Joneses, and the idea that you have to have the newest thing, or your kids have to have the newest iPhone, or you have to have the most advanced laptop and things like that, and you just can't afford it right then. But you'll be able to pay it off. But it's about prestige, and it's about social standing, and all these things that are that we're sold to by marketing companies. And you can guess what? You can pay them with a credit card and not have to worry about it.
Ooh, but the best thing is that when you pay for it in cash, it's actually yours.
It is yours.
And you don't have to worry about paying anybody anything because it's yours. So pay it in cash.
Yeah, if you can't pay it in cash, you can't afford it.
You can't afford it. So buy it. Easy.
And guess what? Keeping up with the Joneses, I have some news for you. The Joneses
Are
broke.
What you need to do is to have a budget, and I have an awesome budget video that I highly suggest. I'll link to it somewhere here. But check out how to make a budget, because that is your step one on how to really get control of your finances so that you can be happy and
kick the credit card companies out of your house.
You don't need them. So one of the things people have mentioned, I have had a couple family members feel very passionate about the use of their credit cards because they like to get miles and cash back, points. We thought about that. We actually, when we were using our credit card, that was something that we had entertained.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll just pay it off every month, and we'll get all this cash back.
All these points.
We'll be able to travel.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't work out like that.
Never does. That's not.
Well,
that's
it
not
does.
the point.
It does. I will give it fair. Some people use it and pay it off every month without accumulating interest.
Yep, without fail. They're good about that, and this video is not for them.
No.
If you're that kind of person, this is not about you.
Look at another video.
Yeah.
But for us, and the majority of people out there, this is a behavior problem, not a math problem. So while you might get a lot of cash back and
Airline miles,
Sure.
points.
the truth is that the credit card companies are still winning.
Yeah, when you break it down, if you don't pay them off every month, all of that interest on that credit card, think about all the points and the miles and the cash back, lump all that together, and I bet you it's probably less than the interest you're being charged if you don't pay it off every single month. Credit cards are a multi-billion-dollar industry. If they lost, they wouldn't be in business.
Right. Yeah. The overall majority is that they're making money because they're counting on you not paying it off every month. And they're also counting on you getting really comfortable and spending more than what you actually have.
Because remember, paying cash is painful.
Yep. So here are some alternatives. I understand that there are places that don't accept cash.
Yeah, if you remember whenever we had our little staycation, we went to the art museum, and the parking garage, there was no cash.
No cash.
So there are times where you have to pull out the plastic.
Yep. And that is when you need to use a debit card.
People have concerns about their debit cards. It's not as secure as your credit card. If you bank with a major bank, Chase, Bank of America, the big boys, whenever you're using your debit card at the terminal, it will ask you, do you want to run this as debit or credit? Well, if you press the credit button, then it is run as credit and you have the same security in your transaction as you would any other credit card.
So run it as debit. It doesn't cost you anything more. It's not a problem. Just run it as debit.
Run it as credit.
Credit.
Run it as credit.
Run it as credit. Use your debit card as a credit card.
Yeah.
The problem is that there are some smaller banks.
A lot of credit unions.
That we are familiar with that don't offer the same protections for a debit card.
Yeah, it might have the Visa on the logo, but there are certain restrictions that Visa has with those local institutions that prevent it from being run as a credit card. And so, some restrictions may apply.
So check with your bank, know what your restrictions are, essentially. But above all, I'm going to encourage you to use cash. Cash is king.
Always has been, always will be.
Yep. Use cash whenever possible because we have an emotional attachment to cash. So you are inherently going to spend less cash than you will credit or debit or anytime you swipe. Anytime you swipe. So use your cash. And I check out the cash envelope system video that I made earlier, and it really kind of breaks down how we use our envelopes and our daily operations as far as fuel and grocery and all that jazz. So if at all possible, use cash.
Use your cash. So in summary, credit cards are a trap. They're planned that way, they're created that way, they're run that way. They're counting on you to spend more, to forget when your billing cycle is, because even if you spend it, if you have a zero balance and you swipe that card the day before your billing cycle, you'll get charged the full interest for that billing cycle. They're counting on these things.
Yep.
That's how a multi-billion-dollar business becomes a multi-billion-dollar business.
That's how they make money.
That's how they make money. And they're very good at making money.
Right. Good for them.
Yeah.
Just don't fall prey.
Don't be a victim to your own behavior.
That's right. Because when I talk to people, and I've had family members tell me how wonderful they are about paying off their credit cards, and good for you.
Cheers to you.
However, most people have a behavior problem.
Yes.
You know thyself. If you have a behavior problem, don't use credit cards.
Credit cards do not solve an income.
No, they don't. So know thyself. Pay in cash. Only pay what you can afford. Don't grow your debt anymore. The goal is to knock out debt so that you can follow your dreams and be successful. Thank you for watching this video. I'm on a mission to get out of debt and become a millionaire. I'm going to keep making these videos to keep me focused and you inspired. So go ahead and like and subscribe. You know the drill. And I will see you next time. There was one that was a Guitar Center.
Yeah, Guitar Center.
There was
Care Credit. There was.
I try to block this out, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, we don't talk about them anymore.
We don't,
Yeah.
because we don't have to pay them anymore.
Exactly.
Woohoo!
Got them out of our life.
Bye.
Forever.
Yeah.
Woohoo!